Hello and welcome to the latest of my Inside Tracks. Today I'm going to share with you the journey of Mercury, the planet of communication, through the sign of Aries, which begins on the 19th of March at 4:24 a.m. Universal Central Time and goes on through to the 3rd of April. Now, the sign of Aries is fire, but it's also cardinal, so it's about initiation and passion. So Mercury moving here is going to see a big speeding up and a very welcome change of dynamic. But I want to also explore the archetypes of Mercury itself. It governs two zodiac signs of Gemini and Virgo, but also what's its recent interactions meant for us and how are we going to see a change now. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me. I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. This is very much a community, so please share any thoughts you have. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me once more. I'm also going to share with you the event chart based on a solar perspective so we can all relate to it. There are three really important aspects that are going to be very influential over the next few weeks. And also I'm going to give you a flavour of what each of the zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces, which you can look at in terms of your sun or your ascendant or both. The choice is yours, so you can get a sense of what you can expect from those perspectives too. Now, if you would like to embrace the passion of astrology and the knowledge that it can impart, if you do give me 3 pieces of personal birth data, of time, date and place of birth, I can prepare for you your life roadmap report, which will give you a much more intimate understanding of the patterns that have influenced your life so far. But also my special package of 30% off, you can get your 12-month personal forecast. These charts are totally individual to you. No two charts are the same and will give you searing insights of what you can expect future forwards. If you don't know your time of birth, I've now developed a new chart based very much on your sun and a forecast too. You can still get 30% off. Please see the link below for that. So on the 17th of March, Mercury sat in the disk of the sun so exactly a cazimi. This would normally give our thinking such an incredible boost. But Mercury has been debilitated during its passage through the watery sign of Pisces. And although it was in that disk of the sun, it was also very close to Neptune, the co-ruler of Pisces. So if you have been feeling very sluggish, low on vitality, really quite drained, it wouldn't be a surprise. So the most welcome thing that Mercury into Aries can give us all is a sense of uplift, a sense of excitement. Although the sun is still very close in Pisces to Mercury in Aries, about 2 degrees, I feel that Mercury's going to start to shrug off the more dreamy influence of the sun and also Neptune. And of course on the 20th we have the spring equinox, the 21st we also have the new moon in Aries too. So a lot of Aries energy is coming in. So we're going to see a picking up and an acceleration of the interaction we have with others. Now, if you have been having a lot of thoughts going around your mind in recent weeks and your imagination has been really enhanced, perhaps also your dreams have been incredibly vivid, it wouldn't be a surprise. But now the ideas you have can start to gain traction, thrust, start to move forwards. But there could also be a degree of impulsiveness because the sense of inertia that Neptune has created recently in terms of physical vitality, the sun, and mental energy, Mercury, has been quite profound. And I feel there's probably been quite a lot of frustration that's been building up. But also on the screen now you can see the event chart. So there you can see Mercury in its conjunction with the Sun, but the Sun just in house 12 of Pisces, and Mercury just on that 0 degree point of Aries. But Mercury is actually forging a very perceptive angle to Pluto. This gives us an opportunity over the next few weeks to really analyse things in a very sharp and quick and very purposeful way. If you need to really gather information or share a presentation, the chances are you can do it extremely well. But Mercury is also squaring up with Mars, just like it did on the Cazimi. And Mars in the sign of Gemini is right at the end of its journey through that sign. It's going to move later this week on Thursday into the sign of Cancer. So we have a square. And it's possible that all the frustration that's built up recently could see us rush something. And the key to making the most of this Mercury change is to use its lovely fiery energy and thrust, but not try too hard. So important not to rush in before we've really done our due diligence and research. But the great news is that I feel that whether it's our interactions with neighbours, with siblings, around our work, perhaps it's to do with technology, things can really speed up. Mercury's influence through Virgo is much more to do with the order of situations and how we discriminate around certain information, sift through things, but also get to the nub of what's really important. But if there's something you want to manifest in your situation that's really been building up in the back of your consciousness, this can be a time of going from a really stuck red light to an absolute green light, and that can be very exciting. So in terms of each of the zodiac signs, I'm just going to give you a flavour of what you can expect. For you, Aries, I feel that this brings your action-orientated nature very much into focus. And if you have felt quite withdrawn recently or hypersensitive, it wouldn't really be a surprise. But you can feel that you're coming into the present. And once the sun arrives in your sign on the 20th, followed by the new moon on the 21st, you'll really rediscover your joie de vivre and your roar. But it is interesting that your ruling planet is just cautioning you not to go too speedily around anything that's really important. Now, Taurus, for you, Mercury moves into your 12th house. Collectively, we've all been experiencing Mercury in the 12th house, but for you, this could point towards, until Mercury arrives in your sign on April the 3rd, a time of reflection. You may also find that some strands in your situation that have been pushed to one side will need your attention. Some of these could be to do with some anxieties or concerns, or even around issues of trust. And the best way to deal with this is not to ignore them. So do embrace these energies. Gemini, for you, of course, Mercury is your ruler, and Mercury moving into Aries is your sector of connections to others, friendships, but also your long-term future. Now is your opportunity to really get back on the front foot. I feel your professional situation especially has been very draining for you recently. The demands of other people have been quite considerable, but now you can really decide what's truly important to you, or the people that are truly important to you, and start to focus on them. But it is important to prioritise exactly what and who. Now, Cancer, for you, Mercury moves into your 10th solar house, very much to do with the potential to raise your profile, to increase your interaction around your professional situation. It could be, for some Cancer people, you're going to consider some retraining or reskilling, applying for a new job. You may find yourself having some important interviews over the next few weeks. Leo, for you, Mercury moving into this area is going to give you a big push to widen your horizons. This could see you booking a holiday, a vacation, a course of higher education, an online business course, or maybe even learning a foreign language. But what you need more than anything else is a great sense of stimulation. You've been going through some very deep stuff recently, very psychological stuff, and I think you're going to be in the mood to open things up, get more active, and just be on the front foot. But for you, Virgo, of course, Mercury is also your ruler, and this is your 8th house, very much to do with deep transformations. There's been a lot of conversations recently around relationships. People have been expressing an opinion to you. You could take it at face value, or you could try to understand what the subtext is. In other words, what do they really mean? So I feel you're going to dive deep, and the fact that Pluto is applying to Mercury in such a helpful way will be really good for you. Now, Libra, Mercury moves into your opposite sign, but in the 6th house, it's probably been affecting your physical vitality and your nervous energy. If your work has been taking a lot out of you, or your obligations and responsibilities towards others, Mercury here helps you to set your boundaries more clearly, but also sharpen up your natural talent for listening. I think recently there has been quite a lot of tension, and I feel now you can just be a little bit more laid back if people see things in a different way. But if you want to develop your romantic situation or relationships, I feel that you're going to enter a much more positive phase of the year. Scorpio, for you, this is house 6, so very Virgoan. So anything to do with researching information on food, diet, nutrition, exercise, or around your work is going to become a more engaging part of your year. Now, Sagittarius, for you, this is house 5, which can be fun, outgoing, playful, and demonstrative. You've had such a stack of energy in the 4th house, you may have felt very emotionally sensitive and really quite out of sorts. You're going to see a real transformation come into your situation from now on. But for you, Capricorn, Mercury in the 4th house could see you rotating your emotional thoughts around your mind, but finding it more difficult to actually express them. You've probably had some intriguing conversations over the last week or so, and in fact, you may have had some incredibly creative ideas. But if you lack a little bit of confidence to move forwards with them, perhaps what you need for now is a little bit more preparation. Maybe also for some Capricorns, there could be some thinking around a home-based business. Now, Aquarius, for you, Mercury moving into this area is definitely going to see a speeding up in your interactions with others. You're an air sign. This is a very Gemini-like energy. You're going to find yourself very flexible, quick-witted, and agile in the way you interact with people, and this can see you sharing your knowledge in a very purposeful way, also receiving training of some kind. If you're interested in the digital world, your exposure to that is really going to be heightened now, but you may also investigate a new mode of transport or even a new domestic appliance. Pisces, for you, Mercury moving into this area can see you going through a degree of alchemy, taking your ideas into something more fundamental and more sound when it comes to converting this into something that is more long-lasting and tangible. So you could be thinking very carefully about finances or about taking that idea to the next stage of development. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Please do share any ideas or thoughts you have, or like, or subscribe. Thank you and take care.